there's a lot of stuff that's out of your hands. You know, other people make a lot of decisions for you. When you go to bed, what you wear, where you go, what you do. But, you know, unfortunately, one decision that you don't make as a little kid is what medicine you take. And, you know, for a long time now, lots and lots of kids have been just not forced, but put on to different medication that they don't necessarily need. Overprescribing has become a modern societal epidemic in the last 25, 30 years. And, you know, there's tons and tons of different medical conditions that have come up out of the blue that now kids are taking, you know, medication for. And why you should care is because you know someone that this happens to, whether it's a family member, a friend, maybe even yourself. There's tons and tons of different medications and disorders that people are being medicated for nowadays, but, you know, I'm going to focus on pretty much ADD and ADHD because there's so much research out there that I've found. We're going to talk about how we can make a difference in the future for future kids. 1980 was the first year that ADD and ADHD were actually termed a mental disorder. You know, it kind of like, one of those things that always confuses me is, where does this come from? You know, out of nowhere. Nobody has it. And now, throughout the 1990s, millions and millions were diagnosed with it. You know, where was this before? And now, all of a sudden, it seems like 1 in 5 people have it. The Journal of Child and Parent Studies mentioned that there's enough research and data on Medicaid-eligible preschool students from ages 2 to 5 to be able to collect data on. So I think that's kind of crazy. There's negative side effects for these medications, metabolic side effects. You can get hypertension, which is high blood pressure. It can lead to cardiovascular disease. You can have digestive issues from taking ADD medication. Mental side effects, you can become paranoid, you can become irritable, it leads to depression in some cases, which then you'll probably be offered other medication for that you don't need. Basically, you can risk dependency because a lot of medication that you take for these mental disorders are either an upper or a downer. ADD medications are technically amphetamines, and you know, when young children start taking them, you can build a dependency and a tolerance to amphetamines. So it's one of those cases that, what's worse, the original symptoms or the side effects that you get from the medication? You know, to me, it's always that the side effects are worse. How we can make a difference, basically, like, all of us, I'd say, are probably the next generation of parents. And it's up to us that, you know, if a doctor suggests something, we don't have to say, yes, okay, fine, do that. There are alternative treatments. Most of the time, while prescriptions are being suggested by doctors, they also suggest psychotherapy. And most of the time, they mention that that works better than medication. You know, so a lot of people just hear doctors say, take this medicine, and they do it. Most kids are bored out of their mind, and that's why they show these symptoms. They need something to do. Give them anything, you know, a piece of paper and some crayons when they're running around screaming that they're bored. Story time. I was one of the lucky ones. In my generation, I feel like our age, throughout the 90s and stuff, we were the first big boom of this, and I always had parents that would try to find another way before I had to take medicine because I had other medical issues that I actually needed medicine for. So, you know, have some patience also. When you're raising children, they're going to be jittery, they're going to be active, they're going to run around, you know. You don't need any more pills. You don't need to give them something that's going to calm them down when they're overacting and you need a break. You just need to have patience and realize that sometimes children are crazy. Imagine a world where everybody woke up every day and took this medicine that didn't make them feel good and they don't know why. Like in, you know, Ray Bradbury book, where everything's wrong. That's what is coming to. We're next. You know, if it keeps up the way it is, everybody will see it as a societal norm to take medicine for something when you have, I don't know, when you're just displaying natural actions as a child. Like I said, we're the next generation of parents, so we can make the difference on how this ends up. Did it stop? Okay, well, like I said, we can make a difference, we can make a change.